So my name is Shivy Williams. I am your health, wellness, and fitness accountability coach, and I help you reach your goals by holding you accountable for reaching them. And one way I do that is with these awesome motivational messages. So I'm so excited to bring this message to you because I heard part of this today, and I was like, oh my God, this is such a great message to help people to reach their goals. So this message is called Push Through Until the End. So I had to write me some notes down, of course. So in order to win this race, in order to win your weight loss race or your healthy lifestyle race, one of the things you must do is you must persevere to win, right? So no matter what you're going through, no matter what the world is happening in the world, no matter what's going on in your personal life, in your children's lives, in your marriage, in your relationships with your friends, with your church, it does not matter, right? It does not matter. What you have to do is you have to persevere through all of those things in order to win this race that you're running, right? In order to reach your fitness goal, in order to reach your healthy lifestyle goal, in order to reach your weight loss goal, in order to reach whatever size you want to be, in order to reach that six-pack you want to get, or that flat stomach, or that larger butt, or those defined arms, whatever it is you want to do, you have to persevere to win. You have to fight through all the temptations, all the crazy desires, all these things in order to win. So winning actually means that you're going to finish the race. You cannot win if you quit and give up, right? There is no giving up in this race. I don't care what you go through. If you want to win it, if you want to reach your goals, you have to finish, right? So just think, I got a perfect example of this. There are people that run a marathon, half marathon, a 5K, whatever it is. There are people of all ages, races, religion, even health status. So I remember seeing, I don't know if it was a half marathon or marathon, I don't remember what it was. But there's a time limit. They give you a time limit to finish any race that you run, right? Any race, they give you time, like I think a half marathon is maybe 6 hours to finish the race. I remember watching where I think someone was physically disabled, right? And I remember watching them, and do you know, it took them longer than the required time to finish the race, but guess what they did? They finished the race. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, right? They decided to persevere. They had people that were with them. There's another key. They had people with them. They may have had a physical handicap, but they were determined to finish either the half marathon or the marathon in order to finish, right? And again, you get a specific time limit to finish a race. It didn't matter. I think they finished it in like 12 hours or 10 hours or something, right? Way beyond the amount of time it takes to finish. But guess what they did? They finished the race. And although they had to open the streets back up, this person, along with the other people that was supporting them and encouraging and motivating them, they finished the race. So you have to remember that. You have to, in order to win, you have to finish. So it wasn't about the time for this person. It was that they started and they wanted to finish the race because that's what they started. It didn't matter how long, it didn't matter how slow they went. They were just determined to finish the race. So when it comes to your healthy lifestyle journey or your weight loss journey or whatever your journey is, when it comes to you being in better shape and better health, remember, it doesn't matter how long it takes, just finish the race. So you also, when you finish the race, you want to finish strong, right? You want to finish strong. And you guys will finish strong when it comes to this healthy lifestyle journey because you would have persevered through all the ups and the downs and the sideways and the yeses and the no's and the bad eating and the good eating and the missed days and the sick days and the stressful days. And so you'll finish the race a lot stronger than when you started, right? So you'll be able to say no to stuff that you didn't used to be able to say no to. So I have a couple questions. I want you guys to think about these questions. I want you to answer them for yourself. Question number 1. Why do we want or desire the things that we should not have? So we know we want to lose weight. We know that when it comes to this weight loss journey, for some reason, we want to eat or desire those things that we should not be having. So the question I want you to answer to yourself and for yourself is, why do you want or desire the things that you should not have? Question number one. Number two, why do we keep falling into the same trap or for the same bait? Just think about it, right? When it comes to temptation, usually it is the same bait or it's the same temptation or it's the same trap, right, that we fall for over and over and over again. So here's the thing. There are certain temptations, there are certain things that don't tempt you. Why is that? Why is it that for some people ice cream is a temptation while other people it's not? Why is it that candy is a temptation for some and why is it not? Why is soda a temptation for some and why is it not? Why is fried food a temptation for some? So what is that thing that keeps trapping you, or what's that bait, right? What's the bait that keeps getting you off track? So for me, I have some as well, right? So my bait is ice cream. So I just ate a whole bunch of ice cream tonight. So my bait is ice cream, or popsicles, or sometimes it is chocolate. I'm not a big drinker, so like your bait may be alcohol, right? So your bait, here's another thing, your bait may be you lying to yourself. How about that one? Has nothing to do with food, right? Has nothing to do with exercise, but you consistently are lying to yourself. Maybe your bait is what you're saying to yourself that makes you not want to exercise. Your bait could be excuses, right? So that was question number 2. So those are 2 questions I wanted to ask you. Here's the thing is, we have to be able to deal with our temptations when they come. We have to be able to deal with that bait when it comes. So what are you going to do now? Now you realize and you recognize, and we always realize and recognize, what is it that we need to do to deal with those things that cause us to get off track, that cause us to fall for the bait, that causes us to fall for the temptation. And I can give you one really great example. One great example is this: don't buy it and don't have it in the house, right? That is probably the easiest way to handle the temptation and that bait that causes you to fall off track, right? That's the food bait. So as far as your mind and the things that you think, you have to fight that. You have to start changing the way you say things. Do you realize that the temptation or the bait that you fall for, or those traps that you fall for, will cause you not to finish your race? That's right. It will cause you not to finish the race. Here's another example. You could constantly stepping on the scale. That's a bait. That's a temptation. Stop stepping on it, right? Stop worrying about if you're going up the scale. As long as your clothes are not getting too big, too big. As long as you're not getting too tight, don't worry. Now, there's a key to that. There's a side note. If you're lifting weights and you are lifting heavy weights bottom down, your clothes might get too big, right? Because you're building up the muscle. But that does not mean you're having more fat. That just means you're more toned and you have more muscle. So if that's the case, what you'll have to do is you'll have to back off of going heavy with your weight and do more reps to burn more fat, right? So keep that in mind. Same with if you're doing cardio, you ride the bike, you know you're gonna be building up muscle in your bottom half. So remember that. Everything when it comes to the number scale going up is not necessarily a bad thing, just as long as you're not gaining more body fat, especially if you know you're eating the right way. So, the other thing you guys should realize when it comes to the temptation, and food is probably one of the biggest temptations on this journey, is that sometimes you're not hungry, you're actually thirsty. Check how much liquid and water you've drank for the day. So here's another suggestion. My suggestion is if you feel like you're hungry and you need to eat, go drink some water. Make sure you're hungry and not thirsty. Make sure you're thirsty and not hungry. Make sure your body's not telling you, no, I'm dehydrated, I don't need food, I need some liquid in my body. So first go drink something and then wait. Because what happens is if you're not hungry, if your body's not wanting the food, you drinking will help to pass that little temptation away when it comes to food. I love this. This I heard today. And Jean, you may remember this. I don't know if you remember this or not. But here's the thing I love. You cannot be tempted with anything you don't already desire, right? For example, I don't necessarily desire to drink, right? So that's not a temptation for me. I don't necessarily desire candied apples, right? So if I see a candy apple in the store, 9 times out of 10, I'm just gonna go past that. But what I do desire is chocolate chip ice cream from Baskin Robbins. And they sell it in the store, so sometimes I will get that. Or sometimes I desire chips. Or sometimes I desire Twix candy bar. Or, so there are things I do desire, and that's my bait. But there's things I really don't desire. I really don't desire to drink soda. Or I used to love to drink iced tea. Oh my gosh, I used to love to drink iced tea. Not so much anymore. I really don't care to drink iced tea anymore. Excuse me, sweetened iced tea anymore. I don't care for that. So this last thing is, here's what you have to do when it comes to your desires, and it comes to you falling off track, and it comes to those temptations, and it comes to that bait. You have to attack the temptation or the desire or the bait. You have to attack that strong, hard, fast with your words, right? So when those temptations come, you have to start speaking to those temptations and to that bait. No, you're not falling for it this time. Well, sometimes will it happen? Yeah, like today, for me, it happened. But that's okay. Sometimes it will happen. But you know what? You should be able to speak that thing right on out of how you're feeling and right on out of wanting to have it. And it may take you repeating and repeating and repeating over and over again, right? And sometimes we just make up in our minds we're not doing this thing anymore. For example, Jean had said she stopped drinking soda. She made up in her mind, she said it, and she did it, right? Some people have decided, like me, stop eating fried food. I just said it. Well, sometimes French fries, but other than that, I don't eat fried food. I don't eat fried chicken and fried fish and whatever else is fried I used to eat. I made up in my mind that I was not going to eat that anymore, and I stopped. Same with long time ago, many years, I think 91, I can't even remember. I stopped eating beef and pork. Cold turkey, just stopped. See, I'm not eating this anymore. I didn't like the way my body was responding to it. Cold turkey stopped. So that's not even a temptation for me to even have that, because I stopped a long time ago, but it was, and I was done. Didn't even tempt me anymore. My family is known for high blood pressure. So in high school, I thought high blood pressure was related to salt. Guess what I did? I stopped putting salt in my food. In high school. I technically do not really add salt to my food, because that is the reason why. Because I was like, well, that contributes to high blood pressure, so it doesn't bother me to have no salt on my food, but I can add other seasonings to it, right? So some things you'll just say to yourself, I'm stopping cold turkey. You may have to fight some of those withdrawal symptoms, but you might not. But it's all about what you say and what you believe. If you don't think, before you even say it, if you don't think you can give it up, then guess what's going to happen? You won't be able to give it up. You won't be able to stop. You'll fall back for the same bait, the same temptation, right? So just remember that. And everyone's bait is different, right? Everyone's temptation is different. So don't go judging people because you don't fall for that bait, but you may fall for a bait or a temptation when it comes to this journey that they don't fall for, right? So don't judge people because, oh, well, I don't understand why you just can't stop eating chips. And I don't understand why you just can't stop eating fried food. And I don't understand why you just can't stop eating this kind of meat. Because it's not that easy for someone to stop cold turkey, right? Sometimes it's a gradual process. And just because it may be easy for you to stop does not mean it's easy for someone else. The biggest thing I struggle with is water. And so I've been trying to consistently drink more and more water. But for some people, that's not a bait for them. They are like drinking a gallon of water a day. They get their 64 ounces in. They get their 72 ounces in. No problem. They love to drink water, but that's not their bait. That is my bait because I hate to drink water. I don't care if I put flavor in it or not. I still do not like it. But what their bait may be is not what my bait is, right? And so don't judge people because of that. We need to be supportive, encouraging, and motivated, right? And sometimes we hit a plateau. We can be doing great. We're losing weight, seeing inches, eating the right things, exercising, and your body will hit a plateau. Boop, and then you just stop. Well, guess what? That could be a bait. That right there can be a bait for you because now I'm frustrated. Now I'm mad because I cannot lose any more weight. So you may tend to, guess what? Go back to eating things and drinking things that you were not drinking before. There's your bait, that plateau. So what you have to do is you have to figure out a way. What is it that I need to do? Sometimes the reason we hit a plateau is maybe because we're not eating enough food, right? Sometimes we hit a plateau because we're not eating enough. Sometimes we hit a plateau because your body just is stalled. And then what happens is then your body just starts losing, right? Not much has changed. Then your body just is like, okay, back on track. The body is very finicky and picky and just really strange like that. And so what you do is you just keep going. If you know it worked before, then you keep doing what you're doing. You may have to look back and let's say when I first started this journey, this is what I was doing. I know Jean is going to relate to this. And Karen, so way back then when I first started, here's what I did. I ate smaller portions, or I was very consistent at tracking my calories. I was very consistent in weighing my food. And then somehow you got off of that, right? You got off of that path. But maybe sometimes what you need to do is look back and say, so this is what was working for me. Let me try this again. I would say give yourself 4 to 6 weeks. If you're going to change things up, give yourself, 4 to 6 weeks. But remember, here's the thing, to lose weight, right? You have to look at calories in and calories out. You have to burn more calories than you intake, right? Than you intake. So that's really my message today. I want you guys to make sure that you're pushing through, that you're persevering so that you can win this race. Don't forget these questions I asked you. You have to answer the questions yourself. Why do I keep falling into the same traps? Or why do I keep falling for the same bait? Also, why do I want to desire the things that I should not have? Why do we do that? Why do we want to desire those things? That's because that's the bait, right? That's the way that basically that's what's used to get us off track, right? You could call it a sin. You could call it the devil. That's what it is. It's the bait. It's the sin. It's the desire. It's the thing that is going to cause you to get off of track. And that's not what you want. And just remember this. You can't be tempted with anything that you don't already desire. Think about that. Think about the things that you desire. Those are the things that you're tempted with. That's your bait, right? You always find yourself falling into that. And also attack the temptation, the bait, the desire with your words, meaning you have to be able to speak and say no. And don't be scared to do that. Tell your own self no. You can tell your kids no, guess what? And you're not afraid to tell them no, and you mean it, and if they do this, after I tell them no, this is what's going to happen, here's the consequences, and they know, guess what? Do yourself the same way, right? Tell yourself no. Practice what you preach. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. So if you guys have never joined, remember you can visit my YouTube channel and subscribe there for awesome motivational health and wellness tips along with working out online. Working out online as things in this world are closing and shutting down, you can work out at home in the comfort of your own home, right? I do these awesome workout videos Monday through Friday. They are there for you, less than 30 minutes to get in a great workout for the day. All right, you guys, have an awesome day, and please share this video, especially if you think it helped you. Bye, everybody.
Keep pushing on, things are gonna